Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Ringo TV Reactions. We have an awesome show tonight. We're going to be talking about JoJo Diggs. Pretty much breaks her silence regarding Allison Holker abuse of Steven Twitch Boss legacy. We're going to review the tapes, find out what's going on, see what's happening in these streets. Because she's going to pretty much share her perspective on what she see going on from the point of view of a white woman who is in an interracial relationship with a man, a black man primarily. And she's going to talk about this and share her insight. And I think it's pretty interesting. It's pretty fascinating how she presented her case, because a lot of times when you hear just black folk talking on these issues, it'll sound one way, but when you hear it from a white person, and I'm talking about a white person that actually is coming from a place of, I guess, honesty, and they're being real. They're not being manipulative. It's kind of like they're breaking down the hidden secrets, if that makes sense. That's pretty much what she's going to be doing throughout this episode. It's about a 24-minute video we're going to be breaking down. Let's hear a little bit of this, and we'll be right back.
Allison wanted to expose Twitch, but she ended up just exposing herself. And I want to talk about it today. I'm going to really try to stay in my lane. I'm going to speak a little bit about, what I think is personally going on in terms of the relationship, but I want to more so speak to how this insidious behavior that we do as white women is so harmful and so subconsciously rooted in our insecurity, and how we convince ourselves that it is like good intentions. And I just want to speak to that a little bit. If you are watching this and you don't know who I am or my relationship with Twitch, I will go into that really briefly. So Twitch, I don't know if I would go as far as to say that we were friends, because I think that is a very specific word, but he called every once in a while. He donated to an event that I did. It was like a cathartic dance event, and he and my ex were quite close. He did a lot of private lessons with him, and they were really cool. I think Twitch in some ways looked up to my ex in terms of his ability to be so radically transparent and speak to certain things. But I think what I know most of all about Twitch is that he never wanted to position himself as someone that you needed to hold in awe. He never wanted to be treated like a famous person. He was always so warm and so loving, and so he just was so warm. He was just such a bright light, right? And so, yeah, I got to have some personal experiences with him. And so, on the outside and being able to hear these personal conversations around the things that Allison has done are so confusing and frustrating. Specific things, if you haven't heard, Allison made everybody sign an NDA at his funeral, a non-disclosure agreement, including Twitch's mother.
Including Twitch's mother. We're going to talk about that right after this.
Yo, nigga about that paper.
Ringo TV.
Yo, nigga about that paper. Yo, nigga about that paper. Yo, nigga about that paper.
Ringo TV.
Yeah. True man, I'm free. I wake up a new episode. I pop out clean as keep me up a level though. She talk to me like I'm not me. I get it though. Yeah. I'm so eclectic, on me to the credits roll. Talk down to me, they might have to send medical. I'm out the league, I'm OD, they pathetic though. Look how I move, I'm protected. Saw these so soon in my presence. The world going through it outside, they unruly, but I keep it cool, they can't press me. I keep it pure with intention. They see what I'm on, ain't no vixen. I might slide through with that top down. I keep it tuned with a high power. Put it on me, I'm blessed. Young nigga blessed. Big bag, manifest the sky, no stress. Keep no evil around me, can't ground me. I built it since when I had less. No hex on, God can't pause, nigga. Look at how far we progress. Whatever we doing, we keeping it fluid. I don't see a thing. Young nigga about that paper.
Ringo TV.
Young nigga about that paper. Young nigga about that paper. Young nigga about that paper. Hop on that jet, had to switch to the coast. One of a kind, I've been playing that role. They play me, I needed it for. It's real if I said I meant what I spoke. I'm legend, it's written, I shake up the city. Spin block till I'm dizzy, won't ever go broke. I'm chose, I must slide through with a top down. I keep in tune with a high power. Put it on me, I'm blessed. Young nigga blessed. Big bag, manifest the sky, no stress. Keep no evil around me, can't ground me. I built it since when I had less. No hex on, God can't pause, nigga. Look at how far we progress. Whatever we doing, we keeping it fluid. I don't see a thing. Young nigga about that paper.
Ringo TV.
Young nigga about that paper. Young nigga about that paper. Young nigga about that paper. Put it on me, I'm blessed. Big bag, but I fix the sky, no stress. Can't ground me, I built it since when I had less. Look at how far we progress. Lord, I don't see a threat.
Allison wanted to expose Twitch, but she ended up just exposing herself. And I want to talk about it today. I'm going to really try to stay in my lane. I'm going to speak a little bit about, what I think is personally going on in terms of the relationship, but I want to more so speak to how this insidious behavior that we do as white women is so harmful and so subconsciously rooted in our insecurity, and how we convince ourselves that it is like good intentions. And I just want to speak to that a little bit. If you are watching this and you don't know who I am or my relationship with Twitch, I will go into that really briefly. So Twitch, I don't know if I would go as far as to say that we were friends, because I think that is a very specific word, but he called every once in a while. He donated to an event that I did. It was like a cathartic dance event, and he and my ex were quite close. He did a lot of private lessons with him, and they were really cool. I think Twitch in some ways looked up to my ex in terms of his ability to be so radically transparent and speak to certain things. But I think what I know most of all about Twitch is that he never wanted to position himself as someone that you needed to hold in awe. He never wanted to be treated like a famous person. He was always so warm and so loving and so just he just was so warm. He was just such a bright light, right? And so, yeah, I got to have some personal experiences with him. And so, on the outside and being able to hear these personal conversations around the things that Allison has done are so confusing and frustrating. Specific things, if you haven't heard, Allison made everybody sign an NDA at his funeral, a non-disclosure agreement, including Twitch's mother. She made her sign a document at the funeral, okay? So there's just been tons of these kinds of things going on while this whole process has happened. And so what I want to do is I want to unpack a little bit about how I feel like this is just, oh my God, highlighting the fact that we as white women, we pay attention to the fact that we're women and we ignore the fact that we are white. And while I am someone who believes that most people are causing harm from a place of lack of awareness, that this harm is pointing so clearly to the fact that she was not aware of the delicacy of being in a mixed race relationship, and that she absolutely did not have the ability to hold that dynamic. So I just want to speak to that, because this kind of stuff dates back, all the way to like Emmett Till, right? Where white women are accusing black men of things. So I have some notes and I'm going to reference them here. Basically, so speaking as someone who does a lot of subconscious work, it's my full-time job. I'm autistic. I'm a pattern recognizer. It's what I do, as well as having unpacked my own white womanness. What I truly in my butthole feel is that Allison is very insecure about the popularity and the love that was felt for Twitch, and is trying to, on some subconscious level, diminish that and replace herself in that victim position.
And that's exactly what I've been talking about over the years. I've been talking about this over the years, that Allison is insecure. She always wanted to experience what it's like to have that attention that Twitch had. She always wanted that. You understand? Now, what JoJo pretty much is going to break down is something that's important that a lot of white folk don't want to touch, because for some reason we think that we could just get into these relationships and not understand the culture or be sensitive to how different groups of people live. And sometimes we could be insensitive and cause more harm. When you have a situation where a black man is with a white woman, sometimes the two have different upbringings, different culture. Sometimes you have one that come from a family that believe they're better than everybody, believe they're superior, believe that they could just be whatever they want to be, and you got to just bow down because after all, you black. And we get into these relationships thinking, well, color don't matter. Well, it's not necessarily about color. It's about the fruit that is of the tree. Speaking of fruit, we're still in today. So today, my daughter had called me on the phone, and she told me something interesting. She said, "Hey, Dad, quote, I was going to punch this white girl in the face today." That's what she told me. You want to know why? Put a 1 in the chat if you want to know why. Because, we got to have these conversations. I'm very transparent. I like talking about these things. So my 16-year-old called me up, FaceTime me, said, "Hey, Dad, I'm going to punch this white girl in the face." And then she proceeded to tell me exactly what went down. Basically, she was sitting down with one of her black friends. She's in a predominantly white school. We're in North Carolina. And my daughter have my ears. I'm a musician. I'm a music producer. I have very good hearing. I can hear things. When people talk and they think that I'm not hearing, I can hear you. Sometimes I think I got cat ears. I can hear things. You could be very quiet. I can hear you. You could whisper, I can hear you. Because as a music producer, I got to be very keen to sound when making judgments with headphones or with monitor speakers. So it's as if though my girls, because I got 4 daughters, they're very sensitive to the things they hear. So she's sitting down, her and her friend at school, and she overhear some white girls talking amongst themselves. And one of the white girls said, quote, I don't like niggers. That's what she said. In 2025, in high school. That's what she said. 16 years old in high school, and these kids that are in these schools, they come from homes where the parents are racist. This is where they learn it from. She overheard the white girl tell her friends, I don't like niggers. Now, what is that supposed to do to me when I see white folk? What do you think that's supposed to do to me? Do you think that makes me interested in dating white women? No. This is why I stick to black women. Do you think this helps my children to interact with different groups? Because, you can try to teach your children to do the right thing. But when you have racists all around, it makes it pretty difficult. You begin to look at everyone as the same. Makes you not trust no one. It's one of the reasons why I don't even talk to my neighbors. I mean, the next door neighbor, I chat with him from time to time. But everybody else, I have no interest. I don't even want to know you. Because racism, people that are prejudiced, is real. And when you have teenagers in high school that got to deal with this, because she called me, she said, hey, Dad, you wouldn't believe this. I'm having my first experience with racists. And I'm like, wow. Ain't that sad? So now, by me putting that out there, think about the dynamic of what's going on with the situation with Twitch, right? He married in to a white family as well as she into a black family. So there are certain things we got to get straightened out right at the gate. Because when you mix different groups, this is what comes with the territory. So JoJo pretty much is going to speak on these issues, and she could clearly see when a white person begin to call out another white person, you better listen, because they're being honest, because they could be just as wicked as Allison, but JoJo is cut from a different cloth. Now, that's not to say that all white folk are racist, because you have a lot of white folk that are in the South that are pretty decent people. I'm not saying everybody in North Carolina is racist, but there are racists in North Carolina. But there are also decent people. I've been around a lot of different places in North Carolina with a lot of white folk, very friendly, very, very hospitable. They're very welcoming. When I tell them, hey, I'm new to North Carolina, they're very excited. They try to help me out. Hey, you should go here with the family, do this, do that. So there are decent people. But at the same time, you still got to deal with racism. You still got to deal with racists. It's a sad world, but it's not going nowhere. But I'm glad that my daughter called me first, because I made it very clear not to do that. I said, don't punch her in the face. That's what she wants. She wants you to punch her in the face so that everybody can look at you as an N-word, because that's what she's expecting of you to do. And I had to teach her how racists use words to provoke you. And I had to teach her that if someone's words can get you to the point of anger that you would physically harm them, they have total control over you. The way you win in that argument is by ignoring such a person. You can check them in terms of if you catch someone being a racist, you can check that and just don't become physically violent towards them unless they hit you. If they touch you, then you deal with that. But don't let them have that over you where they can now report that. You get suspended, expelled from school. Now everybody's looking at you as the N-word, the aggressor, because that's what she wanted. And again, we're originally from New York. We don't play with that bullshit. Do you understand me? Like, I'm cut from a different cloth. I don't like disrespect. I really don't. And I don't like cowards that talk a lot, but don't put no action to none of those words. So, under normal circumstances, my daughter would have kicked her ass real good. But I'm glad she called me. See, that's the difference when a father is in a child's life. They think before they react. They call up dad. Hey, dad, like, what should I do? Now, if I would have told her to kick her ass, she would have did it. She would have followed exactly what I would have said. But I said, no, don't do that. That's what she want. She wanted you to do that. And then everybody will pull out their cell phones and their cameras, and they'll blame you because they're all white. You're black. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the school. We're going to go to the school. We're going to have a little talk with whoever's in charge and report such incident and make that clear. And if they don't get their act together, I'm going to put the school on blast on social media. Yeah. I'll make it real hot. I would make it very hot for the school. Do you understand me? Names and all. Everybody will be exposed. That's the power of social media. So we're going to have a little good old talk with the school so that we can nip that in the bud. But at the same time, I teach my daughter not to mix mingle with everybody. Just go to school. You know what I mean? Do what you got to do. She's soon about to graduate anyway. And that's about it. You know, once you get out of there, that's it. She can move on with her education. But I'm glad that she's learning these lessons because what this is teaching her is a valuable lesson. Now, you might be a white person and might be like, oh, that's unfortunate, blah, blah, blah. Hey, all I can say is I understand what Twitch was dealing with. Twitch was dealing with a lot of racism. He was dealing with a lot of issues that no matter what he say, he would be looked upon as the bad guy if he even talked about it. Because he was mixed mingled with this woman that was no good from the start. So I'm glad that JoJo is going to break this thing down from the place of race and understanding the negative stereotypes and what other ethnic groups expect of you, because it's just a nasty world we live in. And it's really bad because you got white folk out there that have no racist bone in their body. And they are so tired of having to make black folk feel comfortable around them. And then you have black folk that anytime they see white folk, they automatically look at them like, yeah, they're a racist. And it's just really bad. Because, when you go to a hospital and you sick, you ain't worrying about someone's ethnicity when they're tending to you. You really don't care. You're just like, look, I need help. But for a 16-year-old to hear some white girls say, I don't like niggers when you're going to school to get an education. It's really sad. Now, those of you who remember the video that I did where I talked about how the school that my other 3 girls go to, 3 of my daughters go to the same school. Remember I was telling you guys a couple of months back that the principal or the school pretty much put out an email that there was an incident of someone in the school going around. I guess they was having these conversations. Somebody heard it where they were like, the students don't like the blackies, the monkeys, the black monkeys, the N-words. Kids. We're not talking about high school right now. We're talking about in schools where 8, 9, and 11-year-olds go to. Y'all remember when I spoke about that? So this behavior is learned from the parents, not the kids. Kids don't go around saying these things. They get it from their white parents. That's where they get this from. So my thing is, if white folk is supposed to be so educated, rich, successful, then why they're racist? And why they teach their children this? It's disgusting. And this is why I don't trust them. I'm just being honest. I'll talk, I'll interact, I'll do business, but deep down inside, like, I don't trust them. Because I know these things are real. And my daughter had to learn that. Because a lot of times, I remember when I used to talk about these things, she'll be like, oh no, you know, everybody's this and that. I'm like, listen, I'm trying to teach you something. And she learned herself. She learned. And I'm just glad that she called me. Because it's not a lot of kids that call their parents when they're about to make a decision that can mess them up. Because she could punch somebody in the face and end up killing them. And then now she's gone for life. So it's good to have an open door. And see, this is why we have to have these conversations, because Twitch was in the same boat. He felt trapped in his relationship because he couldn't really trust his wife. He wanted to divorce her. Remember, guys, I talked about this in my older videos that Twitch wanted out of the marriage because he couldn't trust his wife. There is a cultural difference, and there's a lot of racism involved, and that was expressed with the NDA that was given to the mom. And I know that these topics is touchy, but I like to talk about things. I have a next door neighbor. He's white. Seems like a cool guy. At the same time, there's a lot of conversations we need to have as a people. There's a lot of issues, deep-rooted issues and hatred that's in people's hearts. And if these things go unresolved, man, it's going to get really bad. See, now my issue is not with the white man, because I already know that the white man put the black man in slavery. I know that. And I also know that in the black community, we don't even get along. So I'm not here to condemn the white man when the black community don't even get along with itself. We hate ourselves. So before we can build bridges with the white man, we have a lot of work to do in the black community. We have a lot of issues. North Carolina got hoods too. And in the hood, it's a lot of crime, a lot of violence. And it's disgusting. So as we break down this video, I need for you to look at the heart of what JoJo is saying and use your ears, your heart to understand what she's trying to imply to the people. Because she didn't have to talk about nothing. She could have kept this to herself. But sometimes some white folk, they get tired. They get tired of seeing this stuff go on. They know how white people are because they understand themselves. Just like black folk, we understand how we are. We know when another black man or woman is doing some dirt. We know. We could tell when they trying to do us dirty. Well, a lot of times white folk do things and they don't care, and they can be very sarcastic. You understand? Very sarcastic to get a reaction out of you, to make you go do something stupid. Now imagine living in a Second Amendment state and somebody's provoking you. And you have the right to bear arms and protect yourself. You gotta be very smart. You gotta outsmart people. And people will do things to provoke you. Just because you have Second Amendment rights doesn't mean you're Rambo and you run outside with a gun and start acting stupid. You'll still go to jail. You gotta know how to move. That's why I keep saying, don't let the words of people put you in a situation where you're in prison for life. Learn how to talk your situations out. You understand? So again, we live in a world where there is a lot of prejudice and racism. We have a lot of interracial dating, interracial marriages, and we really have to talk to understand each other in order to coexist. We have to have these conversations. Twitch couldn't talk to his wife. She was very controlling. She belittled him. Twitch did not like the spotlight. So what JoJo is saying is true. He didn't like being famous. Twitch did not like being famous. He did not like that. He spoke about that in videos. We covered those videos already where he talked about these things. He don't like all of that attention. He just like a regular life like everybody else. You know? And let me also make this very clear. Because some people, they take the things that I say to heart very, very quickly. When I say I don't trust white folk, some people look at that like, so if a white man is around, you just don't trust them like there's some sort of enemy or something like that. No, I don't trust them. Just like I don't trust black folk. Same thing. I don't trust people. I got to get to know you. That's the context. I don't trust nobody, whether you're black, white, Asian. I don't trust you. There is too much evil in the world. There is too much prejudice, too much racism. When 16-year-olds are in school hearing teenagers saying, I don't like niggers. What does that say? You can't trust people. You shouldn't trust nobody until you get to know them and see how they move, break bread with them. Let them prove who they are. Then you can build trust. But you just can't trust people with your life and expect everything to go good. That's the context I speak from. So we're going to rewind back the tape. We're going to play it through and break the video down, right? I just needed to make all these things clear so the listener can understand where we're coming from. And if you can be so kind, we have about 1,400 people viewing, 200 likes. We need these likes to be 1,000. They need to match the views, ladies and gentlemen. Very important that we have these likes up. So do me a favor and hit that like button. Let's get to the work.
Allison wanted to expose Twitch, but she ended up just exposing herself. And I want to talk about it today. I'm going to really try to stay in my lane. I'm going to speak a little bit about, what I think is personally going on in terms of the relationship, but I want to more so speak to how this insidious behavior that we do as white women is so harmful and so subconsciously rooted in our insecurity, and how we convince ourselves that it is like good intentions. And I just want to speak to that a little bit. If you are watching this and you don't know who I am or my relationship with Twitch, I will go into that really briefly. So Twitch, I don't know if I would go as far as to say that we were friends, because I think that that is a very specific word, but he called every once in a while.
I like how she said that. I like how she basically made it clear, like, we're not necessarily friends. Like I'm aware of who he is. You know what I mean? She's not acting like, oh yeah, we were good friends. You know, like how everybody else is coming out saying they're his friend. Be very careful with that, ladies and gentlemen. That's another topic we got to cover. Be careful with everybody you see coming out claiming to be Twitch's friend. A lot of these people are not his friends. They're opportunists. We're going to talk about that too.
Donated to an event that I did. It was like a cathartic dance event, and he and my ex were quite close. He did a lot of private lessons with him, and they were really cool. I think Twitch in some ways looked up to my ex in terms of his like ability to be so like radically transparent and speak to certain things. But I think like what I know most of all about Twitch is that he never wanted to position himself as like someone that you needed to hold in awe. He never wanted to be treated like a famous person. He was always so warm and so loving and so just like, he just was so warm. He was just such a bright light, right? And so, yeah, I got to have some like personal experiences with him. And so, you know, on the outside and being able to hear like these personal conversations around the things that Allison has done are so confusing and frustrating. You know, specific things, if you haven't heard, Allison made everybody sign an NDA at his funeral, a non-disclosure agreement, including Twitch's mother.
Including Twitch's mother. Now think about that, guys. We talk about this many times. There is no way you could tell me that Miss Holker have any respect for Twitch's mother. None whatsoever. From the beginning, she was wicked. And I really believe that Twitch was targeted from the beginning of his career to be attached to her in order for her to take his wealth, capitalize off his name, and be able to build her own thing. You understand? You don't do that to somebody's mother. You could see that she was the handler. You know? Twitch rose to popularity, but he didn't want that popularity. This is a lot of, listen, he didn't even like that type of stuff. I don't like a lot of attention like that. You know, like how you're an influencer, people see you, blah, blah, blah. I don't like that. I really like to just be normal. I don't like if I'm walking down the street and everybody recognizing me and, yo, hey, I don't like that. I don't like it, but sometimes that happens. Twitch didn't like that. He talked about it. But now Allison wanted that. Allison wanted all of it. And now that he dead, she's rewriting history, which is something that happened to Black people. A lot of our stories were rewritten. Even when they talk about slavery, it seemed like the only time they talk about Black folk is slavery, as if though we had no history, as if though all we ever done was be slaves. No. That's a lie. When there's interracial dating, interracial marriages, you have to understand the other group. Y'all really have to have some sort of meeting and connection with the families, because I'm telling you, man, there is a lot of prejudice and racism in these relationships that go unchecked. And people just live with each other, have kids with each other, and then when wealth is built, one side of the family suffers and the other side prospers. And this is what the NDA did. The NDA was the line drawn in the sand from Allison saying, look, moving forward, I got all control over Twitch's name, his brand, legacy. I control it. Your family can never write a book. Your family can never put out a documentary. You can't do anything. You can never make money off of this man's name. I own everything. And that is what Allison did. And the family signed the NDA under duress, which means the NDA is null and void. But in her wicked mind, she believed it stands when it don't, because they wanted to see their loved ones, you know?
She made her sign a document at the funeral, okay? So there's just been like tons of these kinds of things going on while this whole process has happened. And so what I want to do is I want to unpack a little bit about how I feel like this is just, oh my God, highlighting the fact that we as white women, we pay attention to the fact that we're women and we ignore the fact that we are white. And while I am someone who believes that most people are causing harm from a place of lack of awareness, that this harm is pointing so clearly to the fact that she was not aware of the delicacy of being in a mixed race relationship, and that she absolutely did not have the ability to hold that dynamic. So
Now think about what she's doing. She's speaking from the place of a white woman and understanding the dynamic of an interracial relationship. Allison was with a black man, right? So she got to understand the culture. She have to understand what can be offensive or looked upon as being offensive. Sometimes you could be doing something to somebody and you're not trying to be offensive, but it's offensive. Because if you are in their shoes, you would know. You get what I'm saying? You ever heard the saying, it's not what you said, but how you said it? It's not what you said, it's how you said it. You can say something thinking, well, I'm not trying to be offensive, but it was offensive. You piss a whole group off, and they're highly offended because of how you said it. How Allison came out there and destroyed Twitch's name by saying, oh, he was sexually abused. He was SA'd. He was a drug addict. That was so misleading. She didn't even notify the mother about these things. She ain't notified the mother about the findings in the closet. She didn't even call the police. Nothing.
I just want to speak to that because this kind of stuff dates back, all the way to like Emmett Till, right? Where white women are accusing black men of things. So I have some notes and I'm going to reference them here. Basically, so speaking as someone who does a lot of subconscious work, it's my full-time job. I'm autistic. I'm a pattern recognizer. It's what I do, as well as having unpacked my own white womanness. What I truly in my butthole feel is that Allison is very insecure about the popularity and the love that was felt for Twitch, and is trying to, on some subconscious level, diminish that and replace herself in that victim position.
That's what her goal has always been, to replace Twitch and put herself. If you go look at all the videos, if you study Steven's TikTok, Instagram, anytime they're dancing, you always see Allison in the front. You always see her in the front trying to be the star, trying to lead, trying to be in the spotlight because she wanted his success. There is such thing as being in a relationship and your partner is jealous of you. And I've seen this pattern all through the investigation. I looked at all the videos, guys. I studied Twitch's life after he died. That's how I got to know Twitch. I was not a fan of Twitch. I never knew him. I didn't know nothing about the man. I knew that he was a DJ on Ellen DeGeneres' show, but I was not one who followed Twitch. So I don't want to act like, oh, I was this fan of Twitch and I'm a freedom fighter for Twitch boss. I saw the case. I saw when he passed away. I investigated the case. I looked at all the videos. I did all my reviews and news reporting. And it was just an interesting topic to me. and I got invested into it. And the more I studied Twitch, I got to learn about the man you folks loved and supported. I studied every part of his life to understand who this man is. Watched all his videos, binge watching the videos, letting the videos play to see if I could hear something. And all I heard was a man that loved his life, and he loved people. That man was not out here in no drama. There's no drama on social media with that man. None. Nothing. No dirt. Nothing. Nothing. All he was doing is just enjoying his life. That's it. And he had too much to live for. But she took it away. She took it all away. And I will always hold her accountable, no matter what. You understand? And now she's releasing a book to tell her side of what she wants you to believe concerning Twitch, not allowing the parents and the family to tell their side, basically blocking them and tying their hands so that they can't benefit from anything. I mean, think about this. So let me get this straight. So Twitch died, but he didn't leave nothing for his mother. Come on, people. Come on now. Every black man loves his mom. Every black man leaves something for his mom. But in this case, the parents didn't get nothing. Allison took everything for herself, got lawyered up, hired all the best attorneys to claim everything from Twitch. Mother didn't get nothing. She ain't get $1. Make that make sense?
I think that it is apparent that she did not actually give a shit about what people felt from her sharing because of two things. One, she's only resharing people who are celebrating this decision for her to out Twitch and all of his personal experiences.
That is something that we need to focus on. I'm going to rewind it back, and you have to understand, this is Ringo TV Reactions. I'm reacting. We're going to rewind it back, but I want you to listen to something, and I want you to think about what's happening here. What is Allison doing? Allison is a narcissist. What she's focusing on is only everyone who is celebrating her. She's ignoring everything that is negative in terms of criticism. She know that the public is speaking. She know people are making videos. She hears all of these things. She knows about it. But she don't care. Because in her mind, she's perfect. And she's going to play the victim. She's going to play mental illness. She's going to act like everyone who is speaking about her is trying to make her miserable. Like we're just all harassing her and we're just all bad people. She's totally oblivious to the hurt she caused his fans, his mom, his family, friends, etc. This is the practice of a narcissist. That's how they move. They are living in their own reality. They're living in their own world. And in their world, they're the star of the show. Because you have a lot of people that are giving great advice, content, information that they're sharing. You would think that Allison would look at herself and say, you know what? I looked at this video. I heard this person talking. I looked at that video. That person is saying something. Let me change my ways. You know what? I think I did that wrong. Let me correct my error. She don't care. That's the mind of a narcissist. Let me rewind it back a little bit.
That and replace herself in that victim position. I think that it is apparent that she did not actually give a shit about what people felt from her sharing because of two things. One, she's only resharing people who are celebrating this decision for her to out Twitch and all of his personal experiences. The only people that are celebrating this decision for her are fellow white women who also have not done their decolonizing and who were not in relationship with Twitch. And that's all she's resharing. She's not addressing people's comments
Right.
who are criticizing this choice to air out very personal things about his life and his inner struggles. So one, she's not engaging with feedback. This is not for the people. This is not for Twitch. And she's completely just bypassing anybody who has anything to say about it that's critical. That is our good vibes only, toxic positivity, spiritual bypassing thing that we do.
Now think about what she said, thing that we do. She's speaking from the place of a white woman. She's given the secrets. Do you see that? She's speaking from the place of how she know white women act. That's why I appreciate her video. You see that? She's not talking on behalf of how women are. She's speaking from a place of how white women speak and conduct themselves in these situations. I'm gonna rewind that piece back.
This is not for Twitch, and she's completely just bypassing anybody who has anything to say about it that's critical. That is our good vibes only, toxic positivity, spiritual bypassing thing that we do. And it is so insidious and so gross, and it is a way for us to lift ourselves up by placing ourselves in a hero position simultaneously with a victim position. And if it was actually for some sort of, because she's claiming that this was to help people understand what was going on so that we all, can be more responsible. No, if that was the case, all you needed to do was say there was mental health struggles going on that I found out later. Let's talk about that and create a space for us to dialogue. You didn't need to go into specifics in order to make that point, okay? Number two, she started a nonprofit in this whole field. I think it's called like movement for, I don't know, whatever. It's something with the word movement in it. And the the problematic nature of us taking up so much space in nonprofit world and funding is ridiculous. She changed her last name 2 days after that man passed away.
2 days after Twitch passed away, she changed her name. Two days, she changed her name. Who does that? Right after the man died, she couldn't wait to change her name? That's crazy. You know what's so crazy about this, guys? And when I say guys, I'm referring to men and women respectfully, right? There's a video. I was trying to find the video. But there's a video online right now. I had downloaded it where Allison, I say Allison, I know it's Allison, I know, but I say Allison, right? She was in this video. You know what she said? Right after Twitch died, the next day she was focusing on business matters. Meaning she wasn't mourning. She was focusing on contracts and businesses. That's what she said. In an interview, she said the next day, right after he died, she was busy meeting with people conducting business. Who does that? Who does that right after somebody died? That's crazy. Fam, when my mom passed away, I went crazy. I couldn't go to work. I couldn't go to work. And what's crazy about this, guys, is when I found out about my mom situation, I was at work. Now, when I got the call wasn't that she passed away. The call was she's not looking good. We knew she had cancer. We knew she wasn't going to be around long. The doctor already gave her a short time to live. But when I got the call, it really messed my day up. And all the coworkers knew something was wrong. And I remember when we got home, I called my mom and we spoke on the phone, and she sounded very healthy and strong. And I figured, you know what? When I meet up with her, we're going to pray. We're going to do this. I was really excited about meeting up with her, you know? And she asked, you know, if we could bring her some food and all this other stuff. And when we got to the house, she was gone already. She was gone. I cried, wept. My cousins was there. I didn't care who was there. I just stood by and was just talking to her. And it messed me up. The next day, I went to work, but I couldn't work. I went to work, clocked in, and I was just sitting down. And everybody noticed that I'm just not moving. So they were calling the supervisors. Supervisor came by and was like, he just looked at me. And he was asking the other workers, like, what's going on? Something happened? It was like, nah, I don't know. He just, as soon as he came in, he ain't speak to nobody. He ain't say what's up to nobody. It's like, I don't know what's going on. Supervisor came to me. He said, you good? And I looked at him like this. He said, what's up, man? You all right? Like, what's going on? It's like, yo, my mom passed away, bro. My mom, bro. And the supervisor pretty much sat right next to me. And he was like, you know, like how if you're in a park and you're just kind of just sitting on the bench, and he's like, look, you can go clock out, take some time off. You know what I mean? Everything will be all right over here. Just don't even worry about it. You know what I'm saying? Just take it easy. You need anything, just call, let me know what's going on. And just go on home, man. Be with your family and just kind of take care of this privately. You know what I mean? And I kind of looked at him, appreciate the fact that he understands. And the point of me making that clear is she didn't do that. Allison did not do that. Allison went back to work and was focusing on contracts and deals. You can't do that when you hurting. You can't do that, man. When I lost my mom, I went crazy, man. That's my mom, dog. So how could she lose her husband and just go back to work like it ain't nothing? That's crazy. She never loved them. She never did. And I'm going to review that interview, not the whole thing, because it's kind of a long-winded interview. It's about 1 hour long. I can't sit there for that long, but I just want to focus on the key points. So what I'm going to do is after this stream, I'm going to kind of just do some work around the house. I'm going to pretty much be up all night. And I'm going to let that interview play. And when I get to the sections that I need, I'm going to chop that video up. And then I'm going to do a live stream about that, like, you know, tomorrow sometime and break that down. But I wish I would have had it for this stream, because if I play that clip and you hear it, you're going to be disgusted. You're going to be disgusted to know that Allison went back to work the next day and was focusing on contracts and deals to make money while her husband is dead. So you were not mourning the loss? She was not, guys. She didn't care. She did not care. Let's get back to the tapes.
For, I don't know, whatever. It's something with the word movement in it. And the the problematic nature of us taking up so much space in nonprofit world and funding is ridiculous. She changed her last name 2 days after that man passed away. She has been led by business approach since this whole thing happened. And I'm doubling down. I think she is insecure about the love and affinity that people held for him. And I think she's trying to regain that. You can look at the two of them. Twitch never wanted to be held as a famous person on a pedestal, and that is what she wants. She holds her face a certain way. She performs a certain way. And I can feel it. She never embraced or took the time or felt the importance to understand the complexity of the dynamics that it was for him to be in that position as a Black man in white social media. The third thing that I want to speak to is the fact that Allison did not think for a second how this would impact the people who look up to and admire Twitch. In a social media presence, in a world where we are dominated by white folks being the heroes and the icons, we all looked to Twitch as such a token of hope and celebration and peace and joy. And when you try to downplay that, you are negating, again, so much historical oppression inside of these patterns. I think that Allison is highlighting such a glaring lack of care around the equity that this whole process required. She has not done her work. She hasn't. And if she did do her work, she would know you don't tell another survivor's story.
You don't tell another survivor's story. And that's what she did. She took Twitch's secrets. She took his story and tried to profit off of it. And she did interviews and everything, and she rewrote history as if though she's doing other people a favor, as if though she's helping to save lives. You don't do that with your late husband's secrets, because we know everything that Allison put out there are lies. But let's just say, hypothetically, that it's true. Let's say that everything that Allison put out there is true. Why would you air these things out to the public? He didn't talk about them, so why would you? Why would you air these things out? It's none of our business. It's none of our business to know none of this. She could have took this stuff to the grave and just say, look, I don't want his fans to know that he was struggling with this. Let me keep this to myself to protect his legacy. But no, she said, you know what? I got to make some money. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to air him out. And I really believe that what Allison is doing is she's projecting her own issues, meaning she's the one who struggled with alcoholism. She's the one who have arrest records for being intoxicated. She's the one that is allegedly popping pills. She's the one doing all of this dirt. She's the one doing the dirt, and what she's doing is she's projecting her own insecurities, her own fears, her own demons, and she's putting that on Twitch. And he's spinning in his grave right now. Like, I can't believe I married you. I can't believe this. Listen, let me tell you something, man. Twitch made a bad mistake. Twitch made a real bad mistake, guys. I'm going to tell you what happened here. All right. This was the mistake that Twitch made. This is the day he made a terrible mistake when he did that. And we reviewed that video, the video where he proposed to Allison. That video was very cringed. I knew it was a setup. I knew it was all staged. And I was saying to myself, you're making a bad choice. And right after that, it's like everything started going downhill for him. And sometimes as a man, you get mixed mingled with a woman and you really think you love her. But do she love you? Does she respect you? I always tell you, gentlemen, you determine a woman's love for you, not by emotion, but by her respect for you. Her respect determines her love. That's how we as men should judge women. Not by emotions. Baby, I need for you to tell me that you love me. I don't want to hear that. You got to show me. Through respect. If a woman don't respect you, she don't love you. It's just that simple. So through all of Allison's actions, she show that she don't respect Twitch. So if she don't respect them, she don't love them. She don't love them. Never did.
You don't need to air out someone's business. Calling someone who smoked weed and was clear that he was trying to quit an addict when there was nothing in his system at the time of his death is, what is that called? Clickbait.
It is. I actually have that receipt. Let me see if I can find this real quick. Give me a minute. Let me see if I can find it. Because I know I took some screenshots. Let me see if I can do this real fast. Because I know I have it on the system. Because I was supposed to do a video with it. And it's like hundreds of videos I got to do. And I saw a clip. And being that she brought that up, I'm trying to see if I can find it real fast. Let me see. Where is it? Where is it? I hope I got it. If I don't have it here, then I'll just find it another time. Is that it? No, that's not it. Probably gonna have to get it another time. Wait, is this it? Yeah, okay, here we go. Wow, we got it. Okay, let's see. Let me bring this into the stream. All right. Let's take a look at this. Okay. Let's bring this in. Okay, so right here, being that she brought up alcohol and other stuff, let's check this out, right? It says, more than 5 months after Stephen Twitch Boss died at age 40 in December 2022, a new autopsy and police report is providing more details about his death. Shortly after the So You Think You Can Dance alum's death, the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner confirmed that he died by the S word, can't say that on social media for some reason on YouTube, via a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. According to the new autopsy and police report obtained by US Weekly, on Wednesday, May 24th, no drugs or alcohol. Now think about this. No drugs or alcohol were found in Boss's system at the time of his death. Think about that. So for Allison to go around social media claiming that Twitch was a drug addict and all this other junk is a lie. Because what she's trying to imply is that drugs, his substance abuse, and all of that led to him taking his life. But there was no drugs or alcohol in his system because he didn't do those things. You understand? And when you study Allison's life, she have arrest records for being an alcoholic and drunk. You understand? She's the one that is living dirty. She's the one that got dirt on her name. And this is what I mean about how she been projecting her life and her issues and her struggles on Twitch. How you a wife and you now found a box in a closet claiming, oh yeah, his drugs was in the closet. That's a lie. That's a lie. You've been with this man all these years and you didn't know what he was about? Stop lying. Every woman is supposed to know the man she's with if she's married. How you don't know? How you don't know your husband is depressed? How you don't know he's tired? Every woman is supposed to know these things. If you have a husband, a man, and he's living with you and you with him, you're supposed to know when he's hungry. You're supposed to know when he needs his coffee, his tea, something to drink, when he needs some loving. You're supposed to know everything about that man. And if you don't, then you must not be with him sincerely from the heart. You must not care.
This is a mess. She is not holding her kids with care. The black side of that family is not allowed to visit with the kids.
Right.
She does not understand her positionality because she is focused on being a woman and she is erasing the fact that she is white. She doesn't understand how we are imprinted in being dominant, how we are indoctrinated into dehumanizing people. She has not unpacked, and I am so frustrated. I know you can hear it in my voice. I'm so angry that she had the audacity to try to speak to Twitch as though the whole world would not try to stand around him and hold him with care. Twitch, regardless of having a human experience in this lifetime, did not, still, even with these undercover things, did not impact us in such a beautiful, positive way. And she's claiming that she wants people to know that there was things going on underneath. And she's claiming that she wants that so that people can be more open about what they're experiencing. But you don't have to air out his business in order to do that. You don't have to start a nonprofit in order to do that. You don't have to close out his family's access to his kids in order to do that. You don't have to ignore how this would impact the kids' experience finding that out and having to deal with the social impacts of that in their lives, in their schools, in their friendships in order to do that. Allison pretending that these good intentions are at the forefront is so violent because the other people who have not taken the time to decolonize are going to believe that shit and go, oh, poor Allison.
That's exactly what she's doing. That's exactly what she's doing, guys. You know, the way she's painting this situation, she's doing interviews, she's all over TV. It makes her look like this hurt, broken widow that is struggling to pick up the pieces, and her kids need a lot of therapy and help. This is how she's painting herself, as if though she's doing all this great work trying to help the people and the struggles that she's going through. It's so misleading. A lot of people don't even understand the magnitude of how this situation with Twitch is. It's very important to talk about because she wanted to get rid of everything once he died. Once he died, she went to selling the house. Why? Because she don't want no evidence. For all we know, Twitch died in the house. And they moved the body. You know? Let me see. Somebody said, did you know she tried to immediately get him cremated? And coroner told her they needed to do an autopsy first. And this isn't alleged. You see, ladies and gentlemen? Allison wanted to cremate. That's right. She wanted to cremate Twitch. Why? To get him out of the way. To get him out of the way. So that there's no evidence. Nothing. Ain't that sick? She changed her name right after he died. Why? Because she had another man that she allegedly may have been in an affair with the whole time. And maybe Twitch found out about this and wanted a divorce, but didn't know how to go about with it because, again, divorcing a white woman in America can be very dangerous for a black man. Divorcing a white woman in America, good luck. Good luck with that one, bro.
Which is exactly what we do as white women. We feel so impassioned by being a victim. And because we are so deeply lacking an actual sense of identity, that is the only thing that we know how to do that makes us feel alive. This anger that I feel, it took me so long to actually be able to express it because all I knew how to do was passionately express my victim nature. And I think that this is a big opportunity for us to learn as white women to pay attention to these patterns that happen for us.
Now, again, she's speaking from the place of a white woman. So her hope is that white women will understand and not hide from this issue. See, it's very few white people that actually come forward and speak the truth. That's why I appreciate this video. This is why we're reviewing the tapes. Because I like when people can speak truth and be real and not hide behind this image that we're accustomed to seeing. She see an injustice being done. It's just like in the 50s and 40s and 30s where blacks were still dealing with prejudice and racism heavy. You had some white folk that didn't like to see that. I know we think that, well, all white people are racist, right? No. Trust me, they're not. Some white folk, they don't like seeing these things. They got family that are racist, but they can't say nothing because it's like, I don't want to say nothing and my relative's going to look at me crazy. And it's like, they just don't want to be in the drama. And I know you might say, well, then they're racist too. They should say something. I get it. But sometimes you got to know what to say and when to say. Sometimes you can get yourself in a lot of hot water. You have to know how to move. You have to know when to speak and when you have to pick your fights carefully. You understand? You could be on a 9-to-5 job and your supervisor could be doing something that's out of pocket. You see it, you know what's happening, but you know if you say something, they're going to retaliate. Give you more work, bring you up on charges, give you a memo. You know, of course, that goes against company policy to retaliate against a worker who is a whistleblower, but we understand this is what the world is like when you speak truth. So she's speaking to white women. That is who she's speaking to right now. She's speaking to a white female audience to try to make them understand. She's speaking to the whole world, but she's speaking from the place of a white woman to white woman.
I know for myself, I have been looking at this and trying to find myself in this. Where have I done this? Where am I doing this? Where am I focusing on where I'm a victim in a way that negates other people's experience? Where am I speaking to an experience that is a racialized experience without factoring that in? Where am I making things business that really, really stand to be handled with gentle care and love for a person and their community? And I feel like naming that I'm angry at Allison, and I also understand that like this is also our trauma, like how we are indoctrinated into this way of being is also colonialism. It's also our colonization. It's also our trauma. So like, I'm not trying to shame, and I'm angry. Both of those things can coexist. I think that this is an opportunity for us as white women to really be honest with ourselves about how much we place good intentions at the forefront of our actions without thinking about how complex different things are for different people with different experiences, and how we make the decisions in such a singular perspective because we haven't had to deal with race as an issue in our life. And so we don't remember that that is something that is very at the center of people's lives. And this was a miss. Allison missed. This was a terrible, terrible miss. And you can see it in the community's response. The community is angry and hurt. And I think that anybody who has decolonized and anybody who knew Twitch and anybody who's a survivor and anybody who struggled can see how inappropriate this step was. And the problem is that Allison is not going to listen. She's not going to take the feedback. She's going to further be a victim. She's going to further center good intentions. And I just really want us, honestly, if you are here and you are listening and you are a white woman, I just really, really want us to take a moment and think about how much we do not understand what a racialized experience is because we haven't had to deal with it, and how we make decisions negating that experience of other people.
If they open the case with Twitch, Allison is going to prison because the evidence is clear. There are too many red flags. When you have a white woman like JoJo Diggs pretty much coming forward to speak about this situation, she's being honest. It's very rare that you see this happen in society, at least from my lens, because again, she's speaking to white women. You hear her. She's literally saying, as a white woman, she's talking to white women. She's speaking, she's having a heart-to-heart conversation with her viewers on her platform about what's going on. And she could see this carefully. She know that Allison is doing very, very bad right now. And these people love Twitch. You have to understand, Twitch was liked by everyone. He crossed all racial backgrounds. Everybody liked this guy. He was a likable guy. He just had the it factor. Some people just got it, guys. Some people are just likable. You just like him. Yeah, but he's black. So he's cool. Everybody liked the guy. How many of you are familiar with, what's this brother's name, man? Calvin Grimes. Put a 1 in the chat if you're familiar with Calvin Grimes. He's a brother that is, he does like these little comedy skits in a lot of supermarkets where he just go in there and he'll be like, oh, my leg done locked up on me. Let me get some of those grapes. If you don't know him, then you're living under a rock. But Calvin Grimes, he's a likable kind of guy. He talks about white people, black people. He'll see somebody in the supermarket and he'll be like, do you got any black friends? You know what they say about us, and you know we cook chicken. You don't know how to cook. You white, you don't know how to cook chicken. Ah, my leg done locked up on me. Let me get some of those grapes. Okay, so if you're familiar with Calvin Grimes, he's a likable guy. White people like him, black people like him, everybody like him. Why? Because he's just a likable kind of guy. You see what I'm saying? Well, That is how Twitch was. He made people smile. He made people laugh. He was entertaining. He lit up the room. I can't explain it. Some people just have the it factor where everybody liked them. And when you look at these kind of guys, there really is no drama in their life. They bring joy. They bring laughter. The laughter we need. You know? Every now and then, I'll go look at some clips with Calvin Grimes so I could get my laugh on. You know? Because it's entertainment. It's funny. But it's the interactions that he have with the people that really matter. When he's talking to elderly women and he speaks to them with respect as if though they're his mother. And he cracks his jokes. He do his thing. It's fun. It's entertaining. But at the same time, he know how to interact with all groups of people. You get it? And if everybody was like that, the world would be great. Now, how could you look at that guy and find dirt? Can't. Same way with Twitch. Twitch was a guy that had a clean record. Now, of course, everybody in their life, nobody's perfect. But his personal life is his personal life. His personal struggles is personal struggles. It's not for us to look at and put under a microscope and judge. It's one thing if he put his own business out there and said, hey guys, I'm struggling with this and I really want my testimony to be used as something that can help you. Here's my struggles. These are the demons that I faced in my life. These are the obstacles I face. I'm ashamed. I'm embarrassed to talk about it, but I believe that with my platform and my name, I can reach you folks out there that are going through the things that I'm going through. I don't want you guys to keep looking at me as Twitch and I'm Mr. Perfect. There's some things that I've done in my life that I'm not too proud of. And I want to basically be a little transparent with the viewers. It's one thing if he did that. If he did that, that's one thing. But he never asked for his personal business to be out there. And for all we know, she's lying about all these things because she's been lying from the beginning. She probably made up this whole story just to sell a book because she know people are going to want to read and find out something about Twitch to bring them a sense of closure. His fans haven't even gotten a chance to mourn. Nothing. She promised that she was going to do something great for the fans. And she never did it. Put a 1 in the chat if you're a Twitch Boss fan and you've been following all the stories and you remember when Allison promised that she was going to do something for the fans. Have an event specifically just for Twitch Boss fans so that they can mourn, they could dance, they're going to invite certain guests. She promised this and she never fulfilled it. She never fulfilled it. So think about what the fans are feeling. What's she going to do? Make the fans sign an NDA before they come to the event? Come on now. This is nasty work, man.
I think that, I don't know. I'm having like a very human moment right now. And
she's showing more emotion for Twitch than Allison ever showed in her life. Think about that. JoJo Diggs is pretty much showing more emotion. You can see it on her face. You can see it in the body language, her eyes. It's telling you that this situation is really getting to her. She's showing more emotion and care for this situation than Allison have showed. Just because you're married to somebody doesn't mean you love them or know them. So guys, you really got to pick wisely. I believe that Twitch wholeheartedly loved Allison. I believe he did. And sometimes love is blind. It really is. It can put you in a world of trouble where you'll get with someone and, you know, you're giving them your all Sometimes you ladies, you might get with a man and you're giving him your all. But the whole time, this joker don't even feel the same way about you. You're doing everything in your power to make sure this relationship is right. Everything. And it's like he's not, what's the word I'm looking for? He's not reciprocating the same energy. He's not doing the same thing back to you. You see what I mean? And it frustrates you because you're like, I'm putting in all this work. I'm investing all my time into this man and he's just not reciprocating the same energy back. Well, that's because he don't love you. He don't respect you. It's time to move on. You can't force someone into liking you or loving you. You got to recognize the signs and know that it's time to go. You know? It's time to go. That's just the way it happens, people. I know it's tough, but sometimes in relationships, you could be with someone and you love them, but they don't love you. They're just with you for the convenience of the relationship. Maybe there's something they're benefiting from. It might be sex. It might be money. It might be the clout. It might be opportunities in terms of businesses, jobs. Sometimes people will befriend you just so they could get a job. And then once they get the job, now they're no longer your friend. Now, all of a sudden, they're not calling you anymore. They're not saying good morning, hi, nothing. Because why? They got what they needed out of you. That's why you have to be careful who you give to, who you give your energy to, your time. You got to really get to know people.
I've debated even sharing this because I'm obviously a white woman, and it's a very complicated thing for me to talk about this stuff because it's like I don't want to come across like I'm preaching, but I'm also angry, right? I'm fired up about it. I think we need anger. I think anger is healthy and important. And I don't want to like overstep, and I also don't really have white role models to look to see like, oh, this is what this looks like to advocate in a healthy way. I don't know. I'm just sort of asking for some grace if you're annoyed with me.
Think about what she just said there. Like she was contemplating not doing this. And this goes on a lot in the white community where they see things like this and they turn a blind eye. So to JoJo, we appreciate you. We appreciate the fact that you took the time to address this situation. It might be tough. Maybe you're going to get some criticism, some negativity coming your way for actually talking about this. But you did the right thing. You did the right thing by talking about it. Because not many people would. They'll just ignore it. Because there's a lot of people that are seeing what's going on and they're quiet about it. They just don't want to get involved. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to share an opinion. You understand? Because they're afraid it's going to cause them some backlash, some criticism, loss of job, business opportunities, you name it. Listen, social media is a crazy place, man. Some people be scared to voice their thoughts. They could see a crime being committed and they won't get involved. We say, if you see something, say something. But we're seeing what's happening on social media. So why the white community that know Twitch isn't coming forward to share their thoughts on what Allison is doing? Where is the white community? I'm not talking about the white community at large that are viewing the content. I'm not talking about the viewers. I'm talking about the people from So You Think You Can Dance, Ellen DeGeneres, all of these different people that claim they love Twitch. Where are they? Where are they? Where are all the people that claim they're his friends, fans? I'm talking about the people with pull, the people in the industry, the people that are celebrities, the rappers, the actors, the singers, the producers, How come Ellen DeGeneres haven't said not one word about this situation? I thought she loved Twitch. Come on now. See, a lot of these individuals are allegedly a part of this. They wanted Twitch out of the way, guys. It's something about that man, and they wanted him out of the way. And they covered this thing up real good. Whoever was behind this cover up, they got deep pockets. Whoever's behind this have deep pockets. And I know that Allison, in my deepest convictions of truth, with all of the red flags that I've seen, with everything that I've witnessed and investigated regarding his death, I believe she allegedly had something to do with his murder. And I believe that if law enforcement, the powers that be, the FBI, get involved and reopen that case, they're going to find that Allison had something to do with his death. They're going to learn that. Because she's not showing herself to be one who is a widow, who is hurting. I have never seen this woman cry, ever. I haven't seen a tear. In all her interviews regarding Twitch, she has never, ever cried. Never. It is sad to see. She never shed a tear for that man. It's as if though she's just callous and heartless. And I know I'm right, because when you have a white woman like JoJo Diggs coming forward to talk about this, it's because she can see it. And a lot of times, white folk respectfully be very prideful. Very prideful. And they don't want to acknowledge their own issues. They want to appear like, hey, everything is good with us. We don't got no problems. We don't got no issues. No, JoJo is being a little more vulnerable in this place in her video. She's being a little vulnerable by exposing some of the sides of white folk that we probably don't see in the black community. And she's being honest about a few things. So she know how white women are. She know. Just like us brothers, we know how a sister is. They can't fool us. We know how they are. That's like you see a black woman and she's dating a white guy. When she's with that white guy, she's going to act totally different than when she's with you. When she's with you, she's going to act a certain way. When she's with the white guy, she's going to act totally different. So we could look at the white guy and be like, bro, I know how she is, bro. But he don't, because he's not in our community. She's in the white community. So she know how white women conduct themselves, how they can play victim, how they can, manipulate things, gaslight, project, play like, they don't know what they're doing, act like the hero. She understand all the tactics. So she could see right through Allison. She could see through it.
This just feels messy and mean.
Yeah.
It just feels mean.
Yep.
And God, I think that's just what's there for me is it just feels so mean and so insensitive. And I think that this was a publicity thing. I think this was an insecurity thing. I think she is trying to recenter her in this moment, and it is not about her. And we have a very hard time not making it about us. And it's really harmful.
And she's not concerned with nobody else's mental health. She's not concerned with nobody else's mental health. We got that from the other woman. I think, was it a Leslie? I'm not sure if it was a Leslie. I think it was. The other video that I reviewed with the other woman who spoke about how Allison's actions, she contradicts herself, because she says that what she's doing is to help people that are dealing with mental illness or having problems with depression and all this other stuff. But really, what about What about the trauma and the heartbreak the mother is feeling? What about her mental health? What about the family and the fans? What about all the fans that depended on Twitch? See, we may not understand this, but each and every one of us depend on one another. In some way, shape, or form, there is someone you depend on. They don't know that you depend on them, but they depend on you. Each one of us is living and alive right now to be supportive and helpful to somebody else. That's right. So Twitch's fans depended on him. They depended on him for encouragement, to smile, to dance, to get through their day. Think about let me explain something to you. You ready for this? Twitch was able to reach people that Christian pastors can't reach. A lot of times we think the church are the only ones that can reach people. No. Most of those guys in them churches are criminals, crooks. Twitch had an ability to reach various people of different ethnic groups in a way where he didn't have to say much, but his lifestyle was doing all the talking. To the point where you may have had young men that wanted to end it all, women that wanted to end it all, but because of Twitch's life, they changed their mind. Because he gave them strength. There are people in your life that give you strength every day to keep going. Some of you are literally living right now. You don't know this because it's really not for you to know. But some of you out there are impacting other people's lives in such a way you don't know you're doing it, but you're doing it. Where you're impacting people's lives in a way where it's like you're helping them to get through. You're helping them to get through the week. You're helping them to be encouraged. I get people that they DM me sometime and they're like, bro, the last video you did or the video you did X, Y, and Z, bro, that video changed my life. And when I look at the video, I was talking about a particular topic, but the thing is, there's something in the video that I said that connected with somebody. I didn't know I was speaking to somebody's situation, but I was speaking. And it resonated with them, and it helped their life. So each and every one of us, as we live in this world, we're impacting people. This is why you have to be good, kind, courteous to everybody you coming around, because you never know what people going through. Just sometimes people need somebody to talk to. You might be walking your dog and see an elderly guy checking his mailbox, and you're like, hey, good morning, sir. How you doing? And he's like, hi. And you're like, hey, it's a great day, nice and warm outside. And he's like, wow, it is a very beautiful day. And you're like, oh, well, I'm in the neighborhood. I just moved in. I noticed that you don't really be out much and whatnot. Everything's okay. You doing well? You need anything from the store? Next minute, the old man begin to talk to you, telling you that he never talks with nobody. He been living in that neighborhood for so long, he don't even have no friends, nobody. You're the only person that talked to him. You made his day. That made him feel alive again. Because every morning he see you, you always say hi when you're walking your dog. And it's almost like he depend on you walking by with your dog every morning just to have that little conversation. And sometimes that little bit is all he needs to get through the day. So when you think about Twitch's life, that is how he was able to reach people. Each and every one of you, you're literally a testimony of the work and the help that you do in other people's lives You don't know it yet. See, we know of Twitch because he's out there in the public, he's popular and all this other stuff. But like Twitch, you yourself in your own world are impacting people. Don't think because you're not famous like a Twitch or somebody else that your life is meaningless and you're not making no impact. You make impact on your job, in your community, when you go to the supermarkets, your smile, when you're talking to people, you make people's day. Twitch did this all the time. So for her to tarnish his reputation, his legacy, by sharing intimate details that we shouldn't even be knowing is disgusting. And the damage is already done. And she's never going to apologize. She's never going to apologize. Twitch's friend Manny, we talked about that yesterday, where he released a video claiming that he's given Allison 1 week to apologize publicly, or he's going to release a tape or a video call between her and him. I don't think that he should talk like that because that's not good for social media. People will look at that as blackmail or like a threat. You know, I think that if Manny is a friend, he should just release the tapes and just get it over with. Because if not, I'm going to question who he is. He may be an opportunist. Again, be careful with people that are coming out of the woodwork saying they're Twitch's friends. I don't trust nobody that say that. We might conclude that these people are his friends because he's in photos with everybody. I understand that aspect of it, but sometimes friends change. I didn't like what I was hearing in that video with Manny. He might be a true blue friend, but then again, the court of public opinion, we don't play. If you say you're a friend and you got a tape on Allison, you don't give her a time frame to apologize. Just put the tape out and done. He already done disrespected your friend. He already done disrespected his mother. There is nothing else to talk about. Put out the tapes. Put them out. So basically, I'm going to make this very publicly clear to Manny. If you don't put out those tapes on what you know about Allison, we're not going to take you serious. Because in the line of work that I do, I focus on putting out the tapes and speaking the truth. If you're really Twitch's friend, if you really believe in standing for the truth because you want to protect his legacy, then the tapes must come out so that the world can know who Allison is. Don't tease the public with clickbait. Don't try to seduce the public to watch your videos and you ain't acting out on what you claim you believe. If you are truly a friend of Steven Twitch Boss, you need to put those tapes out now. Because friends don't let friends drive drunk. Don't go out there saying, Allison, if you don't apologize in 1 week, I'm going to put out this. Don't do that because that's like blackmail. That don't look good on social media. If you got dirt, you put it out there. If you got the receipts and the evidence that can show the public the true nature of who Allison is, you put it out there. Because the last thing we need is a woman claiming she's all supportive of people that deals with mental health issues and various other stuff. We don't need her as an advocate if she don't really believe in what she preach. We don't need her to be acting as if though she care about Twitch. And she's being very disrespectful to him and his family. The people need to know the truth. So Manny, if you are holding that truth hostage, you are not the friend of Twitch. And I hold you to the fire. Just because you say you his friend, just because you're in photos and videos does not make you his friend. I'm sorry. I'm originally from New York. And all of that friend talk, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear none of that. The tree is known by the fruit. You'll really know who your friends are when you dead If they not riding with you, even though you dead and putting out that truth, they not your friend. They're just an opportunist. Because for all we know, if the tapes is not released from you, maybe you're waiting for Allison to come to you to pay you some money to delete them tapes. Because she could always hit you up privately and be like, look, I'll give you $100K for that tape. 200. I don't want nobody to see that. And you and her might make a deal behind the scenes. How do we know? How could we trust you? How could the court of public opinion trust you to do the right thing? See, I've been standing firm on this case about Twitch for years before you. You his friend, but I've been on the front line speaking on this issue the day he died. You weren't there. All of a sudden now you're coming out. So you're going to have to prove yourself, brother. You're going to have to prove yourself. Don't think because you made a couple of videos, we reacted to a couple of them, we saluted you. Don't think that the court of public opinion is going to ride with you forever. These viewers, they're not dumb. The minute they see that you start flip-flopping, as soon as they see you fumbling the ball, oh, they're gonna pull your card. They're going to pull your card, bro. Be very careful. Tread lightly. If you got info on Allison, you need to put that information out there, because that video clip that we reviewed, you deleted that video or you put it on archive because you didn't want nobody else to see it. But I was able to screen record and do some content with that clip because I take this thing very serious. I'm very invested in this case. From day one, I was invested in this case and the case with Takeoff, rapper Takeoff, the late Takeoff, R.I.P. Takeoff. And also shout out to Identical and his late brother that had passed away for his work and contributions in the Takeoff case. Those two cases, along with others, I was very invested in. It's one thing to make a video, but it's another thing when you do the research and you understand what you're talking about. It really becomes personal. It's like, yo, this man was murdered. This man was murdered. He didn't take his life. He was murdered. They murdered him. And they made it look like he took his life. This man was living the good life. Had everything going. Everything going. He had money, clout, fame, beautiful kids, what he believed to be a loving wife, a career opportunity. He was on the Ellen DeGeneres show, very popular. So you think you could dance star? The dance community embraced him. Held him up very highly. You understand? Millions of followers on TikTok. Millions of followers on Instagram. And he gonna go take his life? Come on. No. The man was murdered, guys. They took his life.
And I know, again, I'm sitting with myself on these questions, those 3 questions that I asked us earlier. And I'm going to sit with those because, you know, I'm not excluded from these behaviors. I also learn these behaviors. I can see how I don't know, like, it's just, we've got to start thinking about like other people's lived experience and how much we don't understand their context. Like, this was just so fucking inappropriate of her to speak on a Black man's experience in a white centered environment and then diminish all of the grace and joy and light, or not diminish, but try to, and try to diminish all the bright light that he was and is. Like, nothing will ever take that away, not her words. I think, again, like I said at the beginning of this, she wanted to expose him, but she exposed herself.
Wow.
I think a lot of people felt really weird about the way she responded, and really weird about the way that she engaged with a lot of it. And I think this kind of sums up everything. I just think that she is an insensitive, self-centered person right now.
Wow. Listen, when you have a white woman standing up saying these things about another white woman, you better listen. It's serious. It's very rare you see stuff like this happen. This is very, very serious. That woman is hurt. She's hurt by what she's seeing Allison do. It's embarrassing to her. Remember, white folk don't like stuff like this. They don't like when their own is doing crazy stuff because it makes them look bad. Just like when usins see other black men and women do evil. It's embarrassing. It makes us feel some type of way. It's like, man, dog, why y'all be doing this mess, man? Y'all be making us look crazy out in these streets. You know? When you see black on black crime, black men robbing people, looting in the stores, it makes us look bad as a whole. So for a white woman to see another white woman do this to Twitch, it really infuriates them because they know she's wrong. And they can't stand back watching it no more. It's like, I got to say something. I gotta speak about this. And that's what she's doing.
In her journey. And it's pissing us off because you're messing with Twitch, who we love, and we will protect and we will surround.
Notice what somebody said in the chat. Somebody said, that's what you're doing. You're bashing Manny. Bashing Manny. I'm bashing Manny by holding him accountable. A man that came on Instagram and threatened. He threatened Miss Holker and publicly made a video that he published on Instagram threatening her using blackmail tactics, if I may add, by saying if she don't apologize within a week, he's going to put out a tape. And you're telling me that I'm bashing him because I'm holding him accountable? I'm telling you, this is why we as a people can't grow. Manny is not mourning no friend. Manny is being an opportunist right now. That is what an opportunist does. You understand? Twitch been gone for over 2 years. He's not mourning anything. Do you understand me? Let's stop playing these little games. He threatened Allison. That was a threat. That's why he pulled the video down. Because after looking at it, he reviewed it and he realized that's blackmail. That's quid pro quo. If you don't do this for me, I'm gonna do this. If you don't do that, I'm gonna do this. And he did that on social media. That's blackmail. I'm holding him accountable. If you're really a friend, then do what's right. That's not called bashing. You need to be educated on the word and understand principles. What I'm doing is I'm holding him to the fire. I'm a content creator. I'm an influencer. And I understand the rules of social media. You don't come into these social media streets saying, if she don't apologize, you're going to put this information out there. The information should be out there already. There's nothing to apologize for. That makes me question his loyalty to Twitch. You mean to tell me you sitting on information that Miss Holker said and done, and you holding that information hostage from the people? You supposed to be Twitch's friend? Nah. Maybe you're weak and you just believe everybody. I'm not like that. I judge the tree by the fruit. If I got evidence that this guy killed that man's daughter, and I'm not releasing that info to that father that is grieving for his daughter, I'm just as guilty. If my Ring camera caught the murder on tape right outside, and I'm holding the information hostage, I'm just as guilty. That father is grieving, and I'm just sitting back watching. I'm telling you, man, this is why I don't trust people. This is why I don't trust people, man. Because when you speak the truth, they're not able to handle it. You would think that people would appreciate the work that I do, but you don't. You're more concerned with Manny. You must be Manny under another account. Because no intelligent human being would waste their time posting bullshit. If Twitch is your friend and you got dirt that Allison said and you ain't put that out there, you are not no friend. You are not no friend of Twitch, because that means you know the truth and you refuse to put it out there because you're trying to protect yourself at the same time. You understand? You're playing these little games. You think I'm not watching Manny's page? You don't think I'm watching him put up little video clips? He's not focusing on getting justice for Twitch. He's using that as an opportunity to bring attention to himself. I'm not dumb. I understand how social media work. And a lot of times people be opportunists, man. I'm looking at the fruit. If Twitch is your real friend, the truth would be out there already. There ain't no time limit on the truth. This woman is speaking truth. She's speaking real truth right now. Way more than what Manny is saying. You understand? Manny knows a lot, but he's not putting it out there. Manny know the real deal, but he's not putting it out there. He's picking and choosing what to say. I don't like that. I don't like that. I would hate to have friends that pick and choose what they're going to say because they're more concerned with their career.
So, yeah, the last thing I'm going to say is that, and I say this very carefully, as someone who has been able to connect with people in other realms, people who have transitioned, and when I say that, I mean that factually. Like, I've been working with a client and someone has come through and I'd said, I know the person's name, where their tattoo is, what their location was, what their job was, what happened between them, a message, nothing that I would like earthly have known about. And I don't talk about it a lot because it's not a service. It's just a thing that I'm able to tap into. So that's something that's real for me. And it's been like that for a long time. So as someone who has connected with people in other planes, I deeply felt Twitch's spirit at his transition. And
let me see if I could bring this up. Hold on a second. Is this it? Let me see if I could bring this up real quick. Because, you know, since we're talking, right? Let me see if I can bring this up. Okay, that's not it. Is this it? Okay, this is it here, I think. Let me see. Let's bring it up. Let's go.
To you.
Hold on, let me get the volume set. Because y'all think this is a game. Right? Since that person want to come in here with a big mouth, right? Let's examine the tapes. Let's talk about it. Right?
No. You need to make a public apology to his family, to his friends, and to the public for what you did. If you don't, I'ma release this.
You see that?
Because I don't care and I ain't got nothing to lose. Just an old man that's tired of women like you.
He said he's tired of women like her. He said he's given her a week to apologize. This is what Manny released the day before yesterday. And I was able to screen record it and do a reaction video on it. So my question is, if he got said tapes, right, why he don't just put the tapes out there and stop wasting time?
I'm gonna give you about a week, maybe a week and a half, for you to make a public apology for what you did to him, to his family, to his friends. And then I go back to my little old life. If you don't, I'm gonna release that and others will release.
This is what he said. So I'm trying to make the court of public opinion understand that this is what Manny chose to put out there, not me. I'm reporting on the news. What goes on the web stays on the web, right? So if he's hiding information, that's bad, because that means he got multiple tapes with Allison acting a fool, but he's not releasing anything because maybe he's looking for an opportunity to gain something. Maybe, she do something for him. In other words, hey, I'll hide these tapes if you give me some money. You get it? One of them situations. I look at every little detail. Listen, man. Some people be putting their trust in people too much. I don't. It doesn't matter if you white, black. It doesn't matter. I test the tree to see who they are. Because I'm waiting on him to put out the tapes. I don't want to hear nothing. I'm literally counting down. So far, what it is, 2 days? Got about 5 more days, Manny, to put out the tapes. If not, we're going to be making videos about you. We're going to question you. You're going to question your loyalty to see who you are. I hold everybody accountable. I'm no respecter of persons when it comes to this social media stuff. Not at all. Everybody have to be held accountable. Because for all you know, Allison contacted him behind the scenes and said, look, I need for you to give me those tapes, erase them, and I'll send you some money. Perhaps I'll give you some opportunities. We can make a deal behind the scenes. You never know what people do. All I'm trying to see is he really loyal to Twitch? I'm testing the spirit. That's what the Bible says. It says to test the spirit to see who they are, whether they be of God or not. You got to test your friends. What is that song? What about your friends? Are they going to be around? This is what I'm trying to focus on here. Is his friends going to be around? Or are they going to stab him in the back? We need to know that the friends are going to be true. Because I don't want this situation to get so bad because of this woman doing dirt. I want to make sure that Twitch's friends are also held accountable. Everybody, we need to know who's who. Anybody could come out and say they're his friend. Heck, when Kevin Samuels died, everybody come out of the woodwork saying they was his friend. All of these people are hypocrites and liars. When Kevin Samuels died, everybody came on YouTube acting like they're his good friend. Oh, me and Kevin said, oh yeah, we were good friends. Well, I don't remember him saying that. I don't remember that. Since when did you become his good friend? So just because you see people on social media talking about they were Twitch's friends, that does not make them they're his friends. That's not no disrespect towards Manny. I don't know that man. My point is, if you are a friend, stand on business. You see what I'm saying? Now, watch this, guys. This Lil Kim person says he stands to lose much by what he did speaking out. Let me just pack you up and get you up on out of here. Matter of fact, I'm going to leave you there. I'm going to let you sit there and run your mouth. I'm not even going to block you. I'm going to leave you right there. I want you to run your mouth because I want this public record to be here so that people can read your comments to know how foolish you sound. Number one, all you're doing is exposing Manny's true intentions. You're saying he stand to lose a lot. If he stand to lose a lot, then why is he online talking? If he stand to lose a lot, why speak? If he stand on losing a lot, why say anything? Why post anything? Why? Lose what? So you mean to tell me you can lose something? That means you're not really self-made. That means somebody else controls your life. That means somebody control his life and somebody's pulling the strings and he's nothing but a puppet. Because if you're really a man who stands on business and you're worried about somebody or somebody losing something and all this other stuff, that means you got no control over your life. Somebody else do. Then why speak? Why make posts? This man took down his other video. He took down different videos. He took down all the videos that we talked about. And you expect me to take him serious? I'm holding him accountable. You talking about, oh, he stands to lose a lot of this and that. Then don't speak. If you're so afraid, if you're such a coward to stand up for Twitch, keep your mouth closed. A lot of these jokers got private phone calls behind the scenes, guys. I wouldn't be surprised if Manny got a phone call. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody contacted Manny behind the scenes and said, look, I need for you to take down that video off your Instagram, or else you're not going to get that gig on the show. I wouldn't be surprised if they contacted him already. What does that say about friendship? I'm testing the spirits. All I'm doing is exposing the devil, because in this situation, you can't trust nobody. Twitch is dead, and everybody that claimed they his friends are playing games. If you're worried about losing something over telling the truth about Twitch, you're not his friend. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're Manny or anybody. If you're not standing for the truth concerning Twitch, you are his enemy. Don't come into the public saying what you're going to do if Allison don't apologize, because I'm going to wait for when this week is up. He said in a week, he's going to put out whatever. We're going to see. Because we're going to hold him accountable if he don't. You think the internet ain't going to talk? I'm watching these streets. I'm watching what's going on. You got people defending Manny as if though, like, I don't care about that. You could have your opinion. That's why I let you stay and rock out, even though I don't agree with nothing you say. I'm going to let you stay right there, run your mouth, say whatever you got to say. I don't care. My point is, he made promises just like Allison. Allison said she's going to do X, Y, and Z for the fans. She ain't do nothing. Manny said he's going to put out a video if Allison don't apologize. Allison is not apologizing. So what are we waiting for? You waiting for Allison to apologize to the public? She's never going to apologize. She's a narcissist. She's never going to apologize. You understand? I don't care about a public apology. She didn't do nothing to me personally. You understand? If anything, she needs to apologize to the mother. But not only that, she needs to remove the book from the shelves. It don't make no sense you apologize about anything if you're still selling the book. The book is still indoctrinating people with lies. So what's the point of apologizing if the book is still selling? This is crazy work. Crazy, crazy work, guys. Let's get back to the tapes.
I'm filtering. Give me a second. I think, and I thought, and I will always think that what was most important to Twitch was that people live their life. And I think that Twitch felt trapped in the construct that had been created.
Remember, I told you that he felt trapped in that marriage and he wanted to get out of it. There is such thing as being in a marriage and you feel trapped. It's like you want to get out, but you can't get out. And it looked like he was in one of them situations.
And I'm just going to leave it at that. Yeah. So I just passed that on to you. You know, if you're a white woman and...
Notice she's saying if you're a white woman. She's talking to white women.
You hear yourself in this, or you want to take the time to unpack where you maybe are doing this on a smaller level. You know, when like Netanyahu is doing fucking Netanyahu things, you know, that's something I do as in my process of decolonizing, is I find myself
in her process of decolonizing. See, the colonizer is used to doing this type of evil work, guys. She's talking about decolonizing from that mindset. You have to pay attention to what she's talking about here, guys. Some very important stuff.
Hear yourself in this, or you want to take the time to unpack where you maybe are doing this on a smaller level. You know, when like Netanyahu is doing fucking Netanyahu things, you know, that's something I do as in my process of decolonizing, is I find myself in that moment. Netanyahu is justifying his harm because he was harmed. So I sit and I go, okay, where am I justifying my harm because I was harmed? I try not to separate myself from it. So if you're wanting to, you know, sort of look at this, I just really encourage us to think about the fact that we really center our marginalization, and we ignore the fact that we hold so much privilege, and we ignore the fact that we have been indoctrinated into so much whiteness. And we really, really ignore the fact that people are having a very racial experience. We don't even consider it. So
think about all the things she said. She said a mouthful of information right there, guys. In other words, what Allison is pretty much is exercising is white privilege. She's operating as a colonizer, meaning she conquered Stephen Twitch Boss. These are the things you got to understand, guys. She was able to conquer the black man, right? Occupy his resources, take the land, right? And now she's the beneficiary, all in one. That is pretty much what she's showing you. She's showing you how the colonizers do their bidding. And that is pretty much what Allison have successfully accomplished. She's literally fulfilling something through getting with Twitch. Literally got with him, took his resources, put him out of his misery, and now she's just being the beneficiary, and made the family sign NDAs to tie their hands so they can't profit from anything regarding their loved one, Twitch.
Yeah, just I want us to think about that and, you know, keep advocating against this. I think that book, I'm mad at people. I'm mad at Allison. And I think anger is important. I've been really thinking about this a lot the last couple months because I've finally tapped into my anger. And People are always so shocked about it because they're like, oh, what happened to oneness? I'm in oneness with my fucking anger. Now, the moment I feel better than you or the moment I judge you, yeah, that's different. I've created a sense of separateness. But I think that anger is a way forward. It is a declaration of our passions and values. And I think that is important. So, continue to feel your anger and express that to Allison. This needs to be undone. People magazine and Allison, and this needs to be a checkpoint. Like, who the fuck made you think that this was okay? And why are you only listening to the people that are co-signing this?
Again, someone is leading Allison to do all of this stuff. Hamilton says someone was coaching Allison. She didn't do this alone. That's right. She didn't do this alone. She had help. And this is why I believe that Twitch's death was an inside job, that she had the help of multiple people to actually do this. It wasn't just her operating by herself. This whole thing was planned out. The whole thing. That's why we have reopened the case on social media, so that we can continue our investigation on what's going on here. Because Twitch need justice, and they really need, the family of Twitch really have to seek to reopen the investigation to get all the information they need. Because I truly believe that Twitch was murdered. Allison knows about this. She's very nonchalant about everything. She's just shows and displays a lot of manipulation, narcissist behavior. She have no empathy for him, very insensitive to releasing certain material about him that is really none of our business. She's not showing herself to be a wife that loved and respected Twitch at all. It's as if though she couldn't wait for him to die in order to now obtain everything and benefit off of his name. She's been riding his coattail the whole time.
And not the people who are hurt. Because people who were very close with Twitch, his brother, Comfort, a lot of people are kind of like, yeah, this isn't true. And you know what? Like, this isn't going to taint his legacy. Everybody knows the truth.
Right. Everybody know the truth. We know that he's not a drug addict. We know these things, but you have to also understand it's on social media. And a lot of times we could know the truth about something, but when people rewrite history, that becomes the truth. For example, black people, right? They like to paint us as if though we're just slaves, nobody, just a bunch of people that's just out of order. But they literally rewrote our history. We're the chosen people of the Most High. We're the biblical Israelites that the Bible speak of. We're the people of the book. The Bible is our history book. But they rewrote the whole history. Made us believe that we're just slaves. That we have no culture, no land, no language. So the same thing is happening with us, where we know the truth. The so-called black man, black woman, we know who we are, the people that are awakened. But in the world, they rewrote our history. So even if I say these things, people will look at me like I'm crazy, because no matter what, you believe what the white man told you. How could the white man tell me about my own history? You know? How could the white man tell me about my God? He can't. So even though people may know that Twitch was not a drug addict or any of those negative things, history is being rewritten through Allison. She's putting this narrative out there, so all future generations will look at Twitch as a drug addict. We loved Michael Jackson, but look what they did to him. They made him out to be a pedophile. That's what they did to him. Bill Cosby was our TV father. You know what I mean? Him and James Evans from Good Times. Those were our TV fathers, our TV dads, us that weren't raised with our father. The Huxtable family was our example of success. We looked at them as success. We looked at James Evans as what it looks like for a black family to struggle in the projects. And we saw the love in the family. It kept us together. We saw a strong masculine man in the house. Yeah, JJ was acting a fool, but at the end of the day, it gave us, that was the only family we saw. And then when we saw the Huxtables, we saw a successful black family. So it was like, it was just something that we loved. But look what they did to him. They made him out to be a guy that drugged women and raped women. To do what? Destroy the image of the black man. Rewrite history. You understand? All of our talented men, they made them out to be killers, rapists, pedophiles, everything that's negative. And some people don't want to talk about this. Now, we know Diddy is dirty. We know we got the tapes. We know he out there doing the freak off parties. But my point is, this society have a hidden agenda to destroy the image of many black men, even black men that are innocent. Now, I'm not defending P. Diddy. He's guilty. But at the end of the day, there is a pattern of diminishing, destroying the legacies of black men. And Twitch is one of those black men that they chosen, again, to destroy. You understand? Even they try to do that with Denzel Washington, one of our best black actors in the history of acting. Because there was some scene in some movie with something about some kiss, they try to destroy the man's name over that. And who was the ones doing the destruction? Black people. Not the white man. The white man is the one that put it out, made the black man be aware of it, but it was black folk that was throwing Denzel under the bus. And this is what they do to us. They make us begin to destroy our own. Look at a video that I did the other day where you had a black woman on YouTube that was telling black women that Stephen Twitch Boss's death is not their responsibility to uphold his legacy. Now, here's the thing. If you're a black woman and you don't care about the Stephen Twitch Boss situation, then you don't have to care. I'm not here trying to say that you as a black woman are responsible for upholding his legacy. You could do whatever you want to do. I don't really care. What I was looking at when I responded to that video is the arrogance and the insensitive nature of our women to try to recruit women into being so negative towards a man that didn't even do nothing to them because he married a white woman. It doesn't matter if he married a black woman or a white woman, I would still be doing these videos. Because what I'm looking for is justice for a man that was murdered. This is why when I did that initial video, I played the tapes of a black woman who was murdered by a white man. And what I was trying to do is balance out the playing field to see how black women would respond to that situation, but they can never respond because they're not being accountable. You had one black woman that came into the comment section and was like, well, Twitch married a white woman. It's his fault. That's why he died. And I looked at her in the comments, and y'all remember what I said. I said, okay, so as a black woman, I will have a question for you. All of the men that you dated, that the relationships went south, he did dirt to you, he's no good, he ain't ish. Was it your fault that the relationships went bad? And guess what she did? She never responded. Pure crickets. No accountability. But she had all of that negative dirt to say about Twitch because he was with a white woman. And what I find is people that do that are jealous because he was with a white woman. So they express their hate by saying it's not our responsibility. You don't have to do nothing as a woman. We don't need you. The fans of Twitch are taking care of that. The people that are real influencers, we're on the front line doing the work. We don't need you to do anything. His real fans, real black women that support Twitch will stand up for him. The ones that don't, we don't need you. Let's get back to the tapes.
I think this tainted Allison's legacy. So, if anything, I think it helped us understand the complexity of the environment that he was in that marriage. So I felt those feelings despite what it was being portrayed as when he transitioned. And I am further confirmed that he was not in a safe environment. And I am mourning for those kids who have to deal with this inconsiderate parent who's not thinking about anyone but herself, her reputation, and how she's recentering her victimhood and being a good savior. I mourn for the people who are impacted this, including Twitch's family, his mom, who are not allowed to see the family and stuff like that. But Twitch was, is, and always will be known as the amazing, incredible person, bright light that he is. And if anything, I think this just doubles down on us having to trust that. Yeah, it was an attack, and it was a failed attack. So fuck that. Anyway, I hope
it was an attack, and it was a failed attack because she thought that the public was going to ride with her. Allison believed that when she was doing all of this stuff, that we the people would have been riding with her regarding the things that she put out there. But she realized that Twitch's fans are really loyal. And a lot of his fans is on TikTok. And this is why this whole Supreme Court ruling to ban TikTok is very kind of strange, because it's like, think about the millions of followers that Twitch have on TikTok. If they ban the app, all of those fans are gone. Ain't that sad? All of those followers. All the videos, everything. Well, I got all the videos, to be quite frank. I have all of his videos. All of his videos I got. I downloaded everything just for my own public record. Once I heard about the ban and stuff, I said, can't let all of this material go to waste. So I had to archive everything, because that's a lot of history that will be erased forever. That's like you erasing a man's entire legacy. I don't know what I'll do with all of that information, but, we'll see.
I've made my point. I'm sure I rambled a little bit, and I appreciate you all holding space for this. It feels important. I am going to post this on my feed. If you came in late and you would like some of the questions that I put in, you'll need to go back and listen through. I think I asked them at about halfway through. But I'm sitting with this today. I did speak up on certain posts. I did tag her in a story. And I don't think she's going to listen to me, but, continue to express yourself. And I think this year is cool, because I think what's happening is we are de-hierarchalizing famous people. I hear a lot of people talking about that this year, and I think that's great. So, I think it's important. Anyway, if your heart is hurting about this, mine too. Thanks for listening. I love you. The only way out is through, and I hope that this continues to bring us a little bit closer together to understand humanity. And I'm just going to take a moment to read some of your comments before I sign off. Thank you all for these kind comments. Appreciate you. Thank you for holding space for me to share. I love you. And okay, have a beautiful day. I'm here if you need any support. Reach out to me. Okay, bye.
So there you have it. JoJo Diggs on Instagram is her Instagram handle. JoJo Diggs breaks her silence, talks about some real issues, and I appreciate her video. It came from a place of truth. You know, I don't sense opportunists or a person focusing on themselves. She really had something to add. She added value to the discussion, giving us a better perspective on things that maybe we didn't think about. And she talked about things that maybe the white community may be afraid to talk about. So that's a good thing, you know. But I'm gonna go get me something to eat. I am hungry. You know what I mean? Shout out to Hamilton for the support. Appreciate you sponsoring the show. Said, I applaud you, Ringo, for keeping Twitch's story alive. I pray he and his family gets peace and justice. Appreciate you sponsoring the work. If you like this content, ladies and gentlemen, please consider clicking the like button. Likes don't cost you not $1. When you click the like button, this is what happens. You're telling YouTube you enjoy these videos. You're telling them the video I just watched is informative, it's educational, it's entertaining, it's something that I feel other viewers would enjoy. I like the commentary. I love the breakdowns, the value that it adds to the discussion. And I think that other people would enjoy the same thing. That's what you're telling YouTube when you click the like button. When you don't click the like button, you're telling YouTube that you don't like the video, it sucks, and you don't want nobody to watch it. That's basically what you're doing. So when you click the like button, it's helping YouTube to push the video through the algorithm so that it opens up and make other people experience what you experience. And that helps me. It helps the Twitch situation. It helps you. Because the message is getting out there. The message that Allison don't want to hear. And it gets to the right people. Because there's always somebody at the top that's going to see these videos and they're going to really hold her to the fire. Somebody that really is a mover and shaker in the industry. And they're going to be like, look, what is going on with you regarding this Twitch situation? We really need to open up the case. It might be a big shot attorney that might reach out to the family and be like, look, I think you guys have a strong case. I think that we really need to open up the case of Twitch and get down to the nitty gritty. Just because of watching my videos. You might have an attorney that been watching my videos, studying everything, and looking at all this information that I got up here. And they're like, wow, this is really, really good stuff. And I got a plethora of videos that I got to add into the playlist. If you want to watch all the videos that I've done on the Stephen Twitchboss case, we have a playlist that was pretty much put together. And it's in the community section on this channel. Go into the community section, click the community tab, and you will find the playlist with probably more than 50 videos. I think I did a couple of more I got to add into there. But nonetheless, check out that playlist. I've provided some of the best investigative reporting on YouTube regarding the Stephen Twitch Boss case. The best. Hands down. I've been on the case since day one. You understand? Since day one. So, if you're not subscribed to the channel, consider subscribing today. Why not? I mean, we provide you with great content, great commentary. We get you through the day. We add educational value. I think we did a pretty good job. What say you? Let your subscriptions do the talking. So consider subscribing today to Ringo TV Reactions. Again, JoJo Diggs Instagram. That's her handle, JoJo Diggs on Instagram. Give her a follow if you want to support her. All right. So that being said, we're going to get up on out of here. Appreciate everybody stopping by. Y'all all have a blessed weekend. Salute to all the truckers out there, everybody on the road. Be safe. Right? Shout out to everybody from UPS, FedEx, United States Parcel Service, DHL, Amazon, everyone that do deliveries, Uber Eats, everybody on the hustle and bustle that have to travel via the road. Stay safe, wear your seatbelt, go to the rest stops and rest up. Shout out to everybody on the 9-to-5 grind, doing what they got to do to provide for their families and survive. Stay positive. That's all it's about. Stay positive. Life is short. We got to enjoy our lives. Most importantly, we got to take care of our families. You got to be serious about life. When I look at the situation with Twitch, it's like I'm so invested into this situation. I feel like I'm literally doing what I'm supposed to be doing in this point in time. I don't think nobody else would be able to do this right now. So, if my work benefited you in any way, share the content. Tell a friend, hey, you got to check out this video. There's this guy, man. He's really putting in work. I'm very passionate about what I do. I take what I do very serious. This is not a game for me. When I get on this microphone and I talk about these topics, I'm serious about what I do. Other people that talk about these topics, I don't know what their agenda is, but I always try to do my best and find engaging topics, engaging stories to continue to bring awareness to the case of Stephen Twitch Boss, so that we can really bring justice. Even if we're unable to open back up the case and bring people to justice, the ones who actually killed him because he was murdered. At least by us doing this, we're keeping his legacy alive. And it's going to expose the evildoers. The evildoers cannot hide forever. They're going to be exposed. And it's very possible to open that case again. And they investigate. Because something's going to happen and somebody's going to release information. It could be a video that leaked. It could be somebody at a motel that might leak a video. Something's going to happen. And it's going to reopen that case. And boy, will you be surprised at who was involved. So y'all take care. Peace and blessings to the mods in the chat. Everybody in the building. Appreciate y'all stopping by. I think I seen V-Dub Man in the building. Salute to all the channel members. Thanks to everybody getting us to 1,000 likes. I really appreciate that. Salute to everybody out there that made that happen. Your support is very encouraging. Keeps me going. Remember what I told you earlier about how you could be impacting somebody's life and don't even know it? Well, the people who rock with me, they're impacting my life. It motivates me to do quality content, take what I do serious, keep it real with you. Because when you view, You're giving me an opportunity to do what I love to do. If nobody's viewing, I don't got nothing. So I'm appreciative of the people that actually rock with the platform. That being said, we're going to get up on out of here. We'll be back later on in the morning with more content. So y'all take care. Y'all have a blessed one. Ringo TV Reactions salute you. Rate, comment, and subscribe. It's very important, right? So we're going to get up on out of here, guys. Y'all take care. Ringo TV Reactions. We out. Y'all take care. We out, guys. Yeah. We out of here. Peace. Peace. We out.
If you like our content, consider supporting via Cash App at $RingoTV Raw. Become a patron on patreon.com for exclusive video content not shown on YouTube. You could also support through PayPal at paypal.me/RingoTVRaw. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the bell to be notified of new content. Follow me on Instagram at RingoTVRaw.
This is Ringo TV Reactions, the only channel on YouTube bringing you the truth 100% raw and uncut. I'm out. Peace.